Good morning, class. I am Mr. Randy Reyes, your instructor. You can call me Sir Reyes or Sir Rads. And today, I will discuss Lesson 1 in Module 3 about the ethics and social responsibility of an entrepreneur. So at the end of this module, you should be able to define what is a business ethics, enumerate the factors influencing ethical behavior, determine the ethical issues facing entrepreneurship, specify the ways to encourage people to adopt good ethical behavior. So, an entrepreneur should be aware of ethics and social responsibility of their business, and they should follow order. Okay, so they should follow the them in order to maintain the ecological balance in the society. So the study and examination of moral and social responsibility in relation to business practice and decision making and business, okay? Also known as the business ethics. And what is business? So business is commonly referred to the commercial activities achieved at making profit, but gradually there is a substantial change, okay, in the way in which people view the business. So in the past, primary objective of a business was profit maximization. Okay, so but the present perspectives on business objectives are not uh, anymore focusing on profit maximizations. Okay? Besides profit maximization, so the entrepreneur needs to fulfill the ethics. Okay? The ethics in the business to be more social responsible in the community. When we say social responsibility, as defined by Andrews, okay, so we mean the intelligent and objective concern for the welfare of society that restrains individual and corporate behavior from ultimately destructive activities. So no matter how immediately profitable and leads in the direction of positive contribution to human betterment. Okay, so if an entrepreneur should follow the ethics and social responsibility, so they can build a public image, diba? So what is a public image? A public image, it is the activities of an entrepreneur towards the welfare of the society, earn goodwill and reputation for the business. So people prefer to buy products, di ba? Avails services of a company that engages itself in various social welfare programs. Okay? So, good public image also attracts the honest, di ba? The honest and competent employees to work with such employers, sorry. Okay? So number one is public image. Number two is the employee satisfaction. As I've said, di ba? Uh, a public image also attracts, di ba, honest and competent employees, di ba? So, employees are the part of the society. If you satisfy their needs, di ba, then you are doing social work, di ba? You are providing them an opportunity. You are providing them a ways, di ba, for living. Okay, the number three is ethical leadership. Employees are the part of the society. So if you satisfy their needs, di ba, and you have the so-called ethical leadership, it is the belief that what entrepreneur does has a strong influence on employees, di ba? If manager cheats, di ba, steals or manipulates, then they are sending wrong signals to employees. And it might an implication, okay? An implication to become unproductive to their employees. Diba? You should have an ethical leadership. The next is social entrepreneur. So, social entrepreneur, they are the individual or organization who seeks out opportunities to improve the society. Diba? So how? By using innovative and substantial approaches. Okay? Because social entrepreneurs, they are the entrepreneurs who are addressing social issues and problems, and they are trying to resolve these problems, di ba? By infusing practical, innovative, and substantial approaches. Okay? So next, environment management. So for your information, managers and organizations perhaps can do many things to protect and preserve the natural environment. So which includes plastic, di ba? Less using less, di ba? To less or to reduce using plastic, di ba? By the business by giving paper bag, di ba? By creating eco-friendly product and also by eliminating production. Okay? The next is consumer awareness. So consumers have become very conscious about their rights, di ba? So if you are giving high quality products at cheap rate, di ba? So that is kind of social responsibility. Okay. So as Frederick and Lawrence define business ethics, okay? So as application of general ethical ideas in business. Because doing business ethically means holding right things, di ba? Right and wrong things wrong in business. So we should know so what is right and what is wrong, di ba? Because business ethics are centrally concentrated with the business conduct. It is a value that is something or has worth or importance to an individual because it contains a judgment elemental in that it carries individual, right? Ideas as to what is right, good, or desirable. It guides our business, our entrepreneurs, di ba? In doing, in operating their business, di ba? To have a right conduct, di ba? Conduct of their business. Then we have the external environment, government laws and regulations, societal norms and values, and competitive climate in an industry. Okay? Because being a social ethics and social responsible, di ba? So we are also responsible in the planet Earth, di ba? Because some entrepreneurs or businessmen are very destructive in nature, di ba? Destructive. So they are not concerned about on what is the effects of its products or services in the environment. As a social entrepreneur, di ba? So we need to consider, di ba, the possible impact of our business to the environment, to the society. Okay, so not just by earning profit, di ba? So as I've said earlier, nowadays businesses are not just focusing on the profit maximization, di ba? But more uh, being a social responsible, di ba? By fulfilling the so-called social responsibility. Okay, so the norms of the community. So these are the rules of a community. Usually, control how one should behave in a community in order to fit appropriately within the community. Yung standard, di ba? Ito yung acceptable in the community. Okay? Then, okay, so then we have the rewards system. Okay, so what are the different laws and regulations requiring ethical behavior? So, first we have the product safety and quality, diba? And of course, the so-called fair employment practices, diba? So, dapat it should be fair in all the departments, diba? So, your rules and regulations must be fair, ba, and just to everybody. So fair marketing and selling practices. So avoid unethical behavior in doing marketing and selling just to earn profit. Okay? So you should also consider so your customer and your employees, 'di ba? So more importantly, the customer. So you should be fair, di ba? So when it comes to marketing and selling, so uh, do not cheat, di ba? So do not cheat on the customer. And the use of confidential information for personal gain, di ba? So do not use uh, any personal information, di ba? So it just remain as confidential. Diba? So do not use that for personal or any personal interest. Okay? For your personal interest. Community involvement. And bribery, illegal payments to foreign governments to obtain business. Okay? So please avoid accepting any gifts, di ba? Yung mga suhol na yan, okay, please avoid that. So, how ethical behavior is encouraged? So this is the question. So if the entrepreneur believes that business success requires good ethical behavior, so the next concern would be to encourage his people to adopt good ethical behavior. Okay? So they need the adoption, di ba? Adoption of a code of ethics, institution of rewards and punishments concerning ethical behavior, adoption of internal programs for resolving conflicts, creation of ethics review committees, provision of training in ethics for employees, and the top management support. So code of ethics, so it is a formal document indicating the entrepreneur's adopted principle of appropriate behavior. So a code of ethics can be made effective if the following requirements are met, di ba? So first, it should refer to specific unethical practices like receiving gifts, avoiding warranty claims, bid rigging, making fictitious claims, among others, di ba? So yan yung so dapat naka-indicate doon sa code of ethics ano ba yung mga unethical, di ba? Or ano lang yung appropriate behavior that the business will be adopted. Okay? Or indicated. Indicate doon sa Code of Ethics yung principles, di ba? Appropriate behavior that an entrepreneur should be adopted. And number two, requirements, it must be supported by top management. So, yung support, it comes in various forms such as by providing sufficient funds, di ba, for its implementation, and by assigning specific employees to handle it ethical infractions of other employees and etc. Okay? Then we have the rewards, punishment, and ethical behavior. Excuse me. If the entrepreneur wants to have some measure of control over the behavior of its personnel, so a system of reward and punishment must be instituted, diba? Must be established. Why? Because punishments could take, diba? It could take the form of suspension, demotions, di ba? Dismissals or reprimand. While yung rewards are in the form of promotion, di ba? Citation and cash by receiving incentives or cash gifts. Okay? So yan yung mga examples of these rewards and punishment. Then we have the internal programs for resolving conflicts. Ba? So we all know that conflicts arise even when ethical conduct of personnel is concerned. So for example, a subordinate may think that his or her supervisor is acting unethically, di ba? So regarding the promotions. So the subordinate may harbor, di ba? Some what na yung tinatawag yung ill feelings, di ba, toward the superior. If the subordinate is not provided with a means, di ba, to ventilate his grievance, di ba, to satisfy her his or her demand. Okay? So it is important for entrepreneurships to adopt a program of resolving conflicts. Diba? Trying to resolve conflicts, diba? As soon as possible. Okay, then the ethics review committees. Okay, so who are these people? So, these persons, the role of this person is to encourage ethical behavior. So the entrepreneur may create an ethics review committee, di ba? So this committee is usually composed of company employees as well as some who are not employed by the company. So these persons have undergone special training. So it is one of the requirements. So they should have a special training when it comes to ethics because they will provide advice, okay? Provides advice to the entrepreneur and to his staff, di ba? Concerning sensitive ethical issues. So most probably in some companies they are the HR, the human resource yes, the human resource of the company. So usually sila 'yon. Sila yung mga nasa ethics review committees. Okay? Then provision of training in ethics. So such training should make them sufficiently prepared to deal with various ethical issues, 'di ba? So they would encounter in their respective workplace. So, ethics training is more appropriate for persons occupying sensitive positions like in purchasing, di ba? Waste disposal, okay? Yung nasa research and development, sales and manufacturing, and the like. Okay, the next, we have the management support. So it is very difficult for any program or activity to succeed without sufficient support from the top management. For instance, so when an ethical conduct is committed and no sanction is imposed by top management, so it can be expected that more violations of good ethics will be made. Okay? Dapat as the top management, so the stand, 'di ba? Being to firm stand about the implementations of the code of ethics, 'di ba? In the organization must be observed, 'di ba? So dapat strictly observe yung implementations of as to the violations, 'di ba? So, the sanctions, the reprimands, di ba? As to the violations will be made by the employees. So, dapat strictly implement, di ba? Uh, that rules and regulations or they should strictly observe what's in the code of ethics in the business. So, do you have any question? Okay, so if you have a questions, so you can call me, okay, my CP number, which is indicated in your module. Okay, at the end, yes, the end part of your module. So you can reach me in my number indicated in your module, or you can email me or chat me in the messenger. Okay, so goodbye and thank you.